Brad, what's preparation like after watching a team get 695 yards the week before?
Yeah, there's a lot of plays to go through, a lot of explosive plays. Obviously, a really talented group. We've seen it before in terms of we understand what they can do. I mean, I think when we played them last year through 4 or 5 games, they were at 650. So yeah, they're averaging 45 more now per game. So good, really good. The quarterback's playing well. Talented group of receivers. I think the backs ran really hard on Saturday. Made guys miss. Lacey and 12, and obviously the tight end showed up big time for him as well. So yeah, huge challenge.
How much does it help you guys aren't playing a bunch of man coverage out on them, just like as far as matchups are concerned, your defense against the way they like to try to play offense?
Say that one more time.
Like you guys, your defense plays them a little differently out than a lot of other defenses in the SEC. How has that created some matchup problems that maybe other teams haven't been able to create?
You know what? I can't speak on sort of anybody else's sort of defense and how they game plan and match up. Obviously, we focus on trying to just match up their concepts the best we can. Use our rules to get where we need to get to. And that's what it comes down to. Fundamentally, if you follow the rules, of the defense, more often than not, it's going to put you in good position. Now, if you play with clean eyes, obviously skill and talent and technique, to finish off the play. I think a big factor last year was, on those one-on-one deep balls. Whether you're in man or zone doesn't really matter. Once you're that far down the field, it's all man. And they competed. The DBs did a great job competing down the field and made plays. We're going to have to do it again. They do a great job scheme-wise to try to create some free runners down the field. Last year we were, other than the 4th and 11, we were able to pretty much have a body on the body to give us a chance to compete for a one-on-one. That's the big thing, is that if you don't have somebody on a body, you can't even compete for a contested catch. And so they're going to win their fair share. Our guys just have to brush it off and move to the next play.
That was Alex's performance on Saturday as good as he's ever played for you guys, and kind of what are the next steps for him after that kind of?
Yeah, obviously really pleased with Alex's performance, how fast he played. He did a nice job being violent at the point of contact on his tackles, pulled his pin, trusted the fact that, hey, he trusted his read and then he went. So in that regard, yes, I think he's played well for us down the stretch. Last year, I think Saturday was arguably, probably his best game, just because of how consistent he was in everything he did all the way through the game. So need another big time performance like that this week.
Brad, he had that one play where he kind of dropped into a little soft coverage and kind of made a read and stopped the back short of the first. Is that something he's kind of added and built into his game?
Yeah, he's he had a really good sort of mentor, in D. Eric these last couple of years, who was really good in zone coverage, feel, understand, and you could really see him take another step in spring ball, in terms of understanding our zone coverages, where to be, how to position his body, how to route match, how to pass, and it really showed up on Saturday.
Your line's going to see a lot more size than they did last week, more like an SEC style team. What kind of challenges is that going to pose for your defense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously anytime you face big, long, heavy bodies that, they're going to lean on you all day long, it takes a toll on you. And then you throw in the tempo, the natural tempo of their offense, which is also going to just wear you out just by its nature. So you combine the two of those, big, heavy bodies leaning on you, plus tempo, it's going to really wear on the D line. It's going to really stress the conditioning level. We're going to have to do our best to try to keep those guys fresh as we can, but there are going to be times that they just have to stay out there. When I told the guys, like, if you want to get off, right, then get off. You can do it within 3 downs. 4, for Ole Miss, they'll go for it on 4th quite a bit, especially across the 50. So you got to earn your way off. If not, you're going to be out there. Got to get the signal. Got to look at what you're getting and play fast.
What's the D-line spread been like? Because it's a young quarterback, but very talented quarterback in Sims over there. So what's their prep been like? Getting pressure on him and making the young guy uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's that everybody wants QB pressure, but also contain the quarterback. Hey, get home, but don't let him get out. Like, it's really hard. Like, I don't think people realize how hard pass rush is. And so those guys have to really strain consistently. And then, to be twitchy, to make a move, to beat a guy on an edge, could potentially open up space in an escape lane. And so, it's trying to toe that balance between, okay, I'm going to rush smart and then rush conservative, because usually when you rush conservative, you don't affect the quarterback. Yeah, you can keep him in front of you, but now he's got a clean pocket, and he's able to see all those routes down the field.
Right, you say all the time, you never know for sure what you have until you put them in game situations and see the challenge. So what did you learn about this defense on Saturday in that first test?
Yeah, I mean, it's a small sample size. I was proud of how they rose up in the first half. I was disappointed, how we finished in the fourth. It wasn't sort of reminiscent of how they played through the first 3 quarters. And it's a learning moment for those guys. It's a learning moment that at no point in a game can you ever take your foot off the pedal. Can you ever feel comfortable? Can you ever get a breather? They played dialed in every time it was a 1-score game, but whenever it pushed to 2 scores, it was like there's this deceleration, and those will come back to bite you. And so it was a learning moment. I don't think anybody left that game sort of happy, which is good. I think it's good to hit the practice field with a little bit of a bad taste and sting.
Brad, when you go back and look at the numbers, last year that was the lowest that Ole Miss had in points and yards, and then even 2 years before that, that was another one of their worst offensive performances that season. Taking away the fact you guys had a dominant edge and time possession in both those games, what is it that you think that maybe y'all have figured out that a lot of other defenses just have not? Because they've embarrassed a lot of teams over the years.
Yeah, I don't think we've figured out anything. I think the guys played hard. They're going to have to play hard again. The thing that we stress with our guys, this week and every week is that, last year, the year before, all that, none of that matters. This team's a brand new team. We only have a handful of guys that were on the defense that played in those games in 22 and then last year. And so they've got to go put it on the field. They've got to earn it. They've got to feel their lungs burn, on fast-paced drives. They got to – I don't think we've figured out anything. All I know is we got to try to do the best we can to limit the explosives, and get the ball back to the offense.
Brad, stopping the run is always a big emphasis, but how important is it this week with how they play spread and all those RPOs? And it seems like they want to hit those big passes off the fakes, and it's really when they kind of get rolling.
Yeah, it's so obviously everybody knows the passing offense. Everybody they see the passing yards. Last year 5th in the nation in passing yards. And they're like, oh, they were only 44th in rushing, but they rushed for 295 on Saturday. This is a team that can rush the football, and they use it to the point that you're going to have to load the box to stop it, because they've got those big bodies up front. They've got good, strong backs. They put you in some isolation situations, and if you try to load inside, then they can either go up and over the top, or they can hit you with the RPO, and then pull you down and then go up and over the top. And then again, at the end of the day, you throw on the tempo on top of it. It's a lot of pieces that the guys have to put together. They've got to just stay together within a drive. Like that's the big piece is they're going to hit their fair share. They're going to drive the ball. They're going to move down. I think, you know, a big key last year was twice inside the red zone. One, we forced a field goal, and two, we forced a fumble. I mean, you know, that's 3 points right there in those two red zone possessions. I mean, that's the difference in the ball game. And so we've got to be willing to strain to the finish, something that we didn't do on Saturday. In the fourth quarter, I thought the guys did in the first half. You know, the 4th and 3 down there inside the red zone, huge. The 4th and 1 at midfield, huge. You know, but we've got to be able to finish off games, and we know this one is going to be a slugfest.
Okay, folks, thank you very much. You get to
Thank you.
your players.